What's going on? You're locked into the fifth episode of the Shouting for the Gunners podcast. I'm your host, Mess. I'm here with my good brother, Strives. What's going on?
Yo, man, what you saying, Mess, man? It's your boy Strives, as you just introduced. Yeah, man, a lot's going on, man. It's not really a great time to be shouting for the Gunners. But we're here, man.
All right, cool. And I'm here. Next to him is my good brother, Zest. What you saying, my bro?
I'm very well, bro. Yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a minute, man. It's good to see you chop it up with the man. Them, you get me?
Definitely. I'd just like to say now is a very imperative time to be shouting for the Gunners. You know what I mean? Unbeknown to what Sam I might say, but yeah, now is a very important time.
I hear you. And finally, my brother Meats. What you saying, bro?
Yeah, well, what are you saying?
I'm here, man. I'm here, ready to chop it up. It should be a good one still.
Yeah.
Should be a good one.
Raring to go, fam.
All right, cool. So, obviously, we're gonna get into a lot, but the main thing is obviously the game yesterday. Unless you were living under a rock or you're just here for the hate watch, Arsenal lost 2-1 against Bournemouth. I'll start with Strives. What's your overall thoughts on the game, or overall thoughts on just us losing, really? Not on the game, because we'll get into the game, but what's your thoughts on that, where it stands now?
Yeah. My thoughts haven't changed from when I was last on this episode. Last on this podcast, last episode. Obviously, I know we missed a week. Apologies for that, viewers and listeners. But I really thought that Arsenal's momentum was contingent on that cup final win. Even in the launch episode, remember when Tip was here and I was saying I reckon that was a massive game. And the reason for that was because I thought what would happen, what would transpire should we not win that game, or should we fumble, is what's happening. So my thoughts are just really consistent with that, really. It's kind of just... I'm massively disappointed. Massively disappointed in the boys. Massively disappointed in the gaffer. Massively disappointed in the club. That's where I'm at, man.
Tell us how you really feel.
Don't hold back, mate.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I mean, I get, and I'll go to everyone. I mean, Zess, how is your thought? Just your general, after the result, what was your thoughts on the result, really?
Just disappointing, man. Or disappointed. There's probably no other word to use to describe. Just disappointing, across the board. The whole thing. If we didn't get the result, cool, that's one thing. Or if we drew, cool. But to see, it's just a spineless performance. Do you know what I mean? The whole performance was it was horrible. It was spineless, man.
Yeah. Meats, what are you saying?
Boy, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. They're disrespecting us still. They're disrespecting us. It's embarrassing. They're not showing any form of heart. They're arguing amongst each other. The energy's just off. And it's just looking like crumble mania, bruv.
So, Meats, how am I negative? Because everyone's just dropped... In fact, Mess, what are you thinking? Because so far, these two are on the same page as me, but before the cameras were rolling, these men were calling me negative.
Oh, man's trying to peel back the curtain.
Yeah.
You know that?
Warner Bros or something,
I'm just trying to find out why I'm getting the...
Nah, I think, for me anyway, I think the main thing was I was worried. I think worry was my... when the final result went... Not even the final whistle, it was 5 minutes before I thought, this is worrying. And I think for me it was just more... I don't think you can outwork just bad performances over and over again and just keep grinding out results. And it was at some point I was thinking there was going to be a turn and I just haven't seen it. So eventually, you're not going to win every game playing badly and just nicking a win.
Right. If that functional football's not going to work all the way.
And it was more just worry, looking at the games ahead and thinking, are we going to be able to win 5 out of 7, maybe 6 out of 7, playing like this? And that worried me. That was what worry was the main thing.
The one thing I would say, though, is that cup loss, the way that Pep set up, he's hit us with a double whammy because they whacked us up and it's he's given other teams the blueprint.
Yeah.
of how to deal with us.
Yeah.
Everyone's pinning us in with 4 men. Pause. And then even now, Rayo's looking Kepperish
Yeah.
the other day. You know
We'll get into it anyway.
So,
We'll get into it.
yeah.
But I completely agree. I think we gotta find a way. And there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about anyway. I think the first thing, I'll go with Zest. When with the Arteta, like before the game, he had the rallying call, bring your meal, your breakfast, your dinner,
Your shin pads.
and your shin pads, like all of that kind of rallying before the game. I guess, what's your thoughts on that? And also, to then see the type of performance we saw, is it productive or is it positive or negative?
For me, I'm not really a fan of this whole bring your shin pads, bring your breakfast, bring all of that. He's told everyone to do that before.
Yeah.
I didn't like it then, I don't like it now. And I suppose if you get away with it, then yeah, like opposition fans can just laugh and say, oh, blah, 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 whatnot. But when you don't get away with it, it makes it worse because it's like, bro, where's your shin pads, bro? Where's Zubimendi's breakfast? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where is Noni's like understanding of where the line is, and if you go over it,
It's
you
a goal
give away
kick.
the ball.
Yeah.
Like, do you see what I'm saying? You're telling us one thing, and to a degree, yeah, it's like you're disrespecting us. Like, is it a laugh and joke or what? Like, you're rallying it up 12:30, yada yada yada. The stadium's full, and you turn out a performance like that. That is shocking. That is shocking. So yeah, the whole yeah, forget all of that, bro. Like, show us something now. Like, on to Wednesday, cool, I get that, but forget. Don't worry about us. We're gonna be there. The Ashburton guys, they're gonna be there. Focus on the dressing room and getting them to be there as well. That's what I need.
And the thing is, and I completely agree. I feel like, I don't know if it's actually putting more pressure on them now, because it's like, okay, you're telling the fans, and I get why you're doing it. You want the fans to, there's been a lot of negativity around the fans, and like, you know, are Arsenal fans anxious and all of that, and it's like you want to support the team. But in reality, if you say that and you bring out a performance like that, then it puts a lot more light on you now, because it's like,
100%.
well, we're doing our part, you're not doing your part. And it's like, you need the, like, at what point is it on the players to inform what the fans are doing? Of course, we got to be supporters, we got to support the team, but the players have got to turn up as well. The fans are paying their money. You're telling them to get there early, support the team. We know a lot of people, like me, it's like there's loads of people that are season ticket holders that go there and pay. Yeah, they'll support, but you can't be playing like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Man can't be telling certain people to bring their Marmite sandwiches, cheese and pickle, wagon wheels. Yeah, you know the ones there, them red apples and that, and then you're not getting it right on the pitch because the fans back them all the way to the final whistle. Usually Arsenal fans will bop out when they're not happy. They back them all the way, and you're doing all of that. To me, it doesn't make sense. And you need to concentrate on the decision making and strategizing within the players. We can't make them make good decisions on the pitch. We can galvanize them. When we galvanize them, they get shook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they prefer the library thing where they can, because it's not making sense, bro.
And you know what, for me as well, yeah, when I see stuff like that, I wonder, like, are you, like, inadvertently saying, I mean, the fans are the biggest stakeholders in football, in my opinion, yeah?
Of course.
But then what are you inadvertently saying? Are you saying you just need a little bit more from us, or are you saying we're not giving you enough in the first place? Like, why are you asking for more and for more and for more and for more and for more? Because I look upon Arsenal fans' support now. I know that there's some infighting in the base, in the fan base, as it would be when there's a bit of restlessness, yeah. But for the most part, we all just want to win, innit? We all just want to win, and we're all kind of just arguing about the best way to win.
Facts.
Do you get what I'm saying? So we paid, I think we paid the most, or at least one of the most to attend.
No, we definitely paid the most.
No, we
You
paid
get-
the most.
100%.
Comfortably as well.
Yeah, and then even the small things that we used to have, like little nuggets we used to have. They used to have like the family enclosures. So I used to take my little girl to watch the game. So many, they took that away from us. Everything's a ballot system, just so you could, everything you're monetizing, you can make more money. The following season, the tickets have gone up. They've introduced a different tier. There's nothing that we won't do for this club in terms of in support. I'm talking just monetarily, yeah. But even those that don't even have the money, Like we show up. Our fan pages are. We're blowing up the social media spaces. We're blowing up the internet. Like we're loud. We are there. We support the club. So
This is based on coming second as well, bro.
yeah, 100%. So and the thing is, coming second doesn't do anything for us fans, and we know it does something for the club. Like coming second eclipses a League Cup and sometimes even an FA Cup. Do you get what I mean?
Sometimes it does.
It does. You get what I'm saying?
Champions League qualification money.
100%. So we know for the team, that we know that what it's given the club, we know what it's given the shareholders, the chairman, the CEOs, all them.
Direct.
But you see, us fans finishing second just gives us banter. But we're there, we're turning up. So when you go to your press conferences, like Meets has said, and you're talking about bringing your sandwiches and what have you, for me, I don't know. I might just be one of them people that just maybe overthinking it. I'm like, what are you inferring here? Are you saying we haven't given you enough? You need a little bit more from us. What are you saying here? Because I'm sitting there watching this level of football that we're playing, and I'm digesting it, and I'm defending it, and I'm just like, as long as we win, we're defensively sturdy, we're robust. As long as we win, I don't give a toss. You get what I'm saying? Gyökeres can score 18 goals off of his shin. I don't care. I'm celebrating. I'm doing the signs. I'm doing the celebration. I don't care. But then, trust me, I'm doing it. But then, when you guys aren't showing up, when Zubimendi doesn't seem to be like playing as sharp as he was playing at the beginning of the season, and I'm seeing the depth that we brought in at the beginning of the season not being used. When I'm seeing like because I've been very complimentary of Arteta this season in terms of he's made the right decisions at the right time a lot of the times. But then there's been also times when I've also questioned, are you using enough of your squad? Are you like going to get to this point where we are now burnt out, fatigued, because again, we're not using squad properly.
He uses
So
subs.
we'll get to
Is
that,
he using the squad?
Because
I don't know if he is though, Zest, because so this is why I'm saying like you're asking all of this from the fans and let me just talk for me. I'm not going to talk for all the fans. I've just asked for Mikel Arteta to just bloody cross the line just once since 2021-2022 season. I've been asking, just do that just for me, just once, please. And you keep asking more and more. I'm baffled, bro. Like. I'm
I might need for Arteta to take a seat.
No worry.
To be real.
No, because you see Arteta. I need your pops here, because I feel like he's the only one that is on what I want.
Do you know what it is? And again, we'll talk about it. And you kind of mentioned it now, so I'll kind of talk about that now. What do you think is the main reason for Zubimendi's like drop off in form? Because again, when he started the season, he looked like one of the signings of the season. I felt like we had got a great balance between him and Rice. I felt like there was a clear understanding of like roles and responsibilities, and it actually got the best out of Rice and the team. And I felt like he was a massive upgrade at the time on Partey. Since, I would say that he's definitely dropped off on a level, and I don't know what like Zest, what do you think's like the reason? And what are your thoughts on Zubimendi in general anyway?
Zubimendi, I'm going to be real. I feel like Zubimendi hasn't been the same since the United game.
That mistake, innit?
Yeah.
I thought
That mistake, honestly. And I've been thinking about it over a few weeks, but I'm like, nah. But honestly, when I think back to that United game, up until then, Zubimendi was doing his job. He was doing what was necessary. That double pivot, him and Rice, no one had no talk for it. It was fine, there was no problems. After that mistake against United, it's like it's never been the same. 2-yard passes not happening, 3-yard passes. And again, a lot of it is when nervousness kicks in, that's what happens. Them little run-in-the-mill, everyday minor passes, they're not working. Thinking back to Saturday, it wasn't even that passes weren't working. Man, I'm miscontrolling the ball. As professional footballers, that's crazy to me.
It's crazy.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, for me, Zubimendi, at one stage you're like, this guy is touted for one of the signings of the season. But for me, since the United game, it's like he hasn't bounced back.
And you know what? And just to add to that as well, I don't know if you've seen it on social media, he looked like inconsolable. Like there's a thing going around where it was like, I think after the goal,
that's right.
It was like he just couldn't like react. And maybe some players are obviously quality-wise and stuff are good, but again, sometimes that mentality of maybe when things go wrong or things don't go your way or you make a mistake, like how do you bounce back from that? Maybe he's struggling with that. I also think with him again, he's probably played more games than he's ever played.
That's actually true.
I think that he's used to a winter break, and he hasn't got one. And I think the main thing for me is if you wasn't going to play Norgard, and again, and obviously Strives, we spoke about Norgard and whether or not it was kind of like a good signing or our midfielders got stronger or weaker. And one of the main reasons why I said that Norgard was a good signing is because he could play while Zubimendi's bedding in. He's got Prem experience. If you're not going to play him, then now what you've got is a guy that you've basically not played almost the whole season in Norgard, and somebody that looks either burnt out physically or mentally or both in Zubimendi. And maybe there should have been a balance at the start of the season, because now we've got a guy that doesn't look like he's at the level right now, or you need to take him out the firing line, but you don't trust Norgard. So I do feel like obviously it's Zubimendi's, he's on the pitch, he's making the decisions, but I do think he could have been managed a bit better. But yeah, what do you think, Meeks?
So yeah, with Zubi now, I just feel like it's a bit of that where you said too much game time. I also feel like he's come from a team that are not used to challenging. So when you're doing your recruitment as well, are you understanding the type of mentality the player's got? Because he's always in Spain, he's second fiddle to Rodri. It's all good. You see how man play, even at grassroots level, when they're playing in a team that's juking, they look good, innit? But can you take them out of that and make them lead? And right now, every time it's time to step up and there's pressure, he breaks. The United game, he was breaking, innit? You see at the beginning of the season when it was easy and the results were coming, you're looking like...
Flying.
You're flying. Yeah. You're looking like a Pirlo, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But see, now that it's tough, you're looking lost. And that's because you're used to playing for Real Sociedad. And that's not the level.
And even to add to that, a guy at 26, Spanish, who hasn't left, not like his hometown club, you got to think
comfort,
sometimes
man.
Why it's comfort.
It's comfort.
Because why wouldn't you have left yet? Like, you could have gone...
And he was meant to leave 3 years ago.
Could have gone Arsenal before, he could have gone Real Madrid.
Even when Barca, when Xavi was there was talks. And he just chilled. So, like, for me, that's an issue. And also, when your team's crashing and you get sus tactically, the 6 always gets exposed first. Because that's basically where, like I said, with the quad, squeezing the team, the 6 ain't seeing the ball or he's getting caught. And then when he is seeing it, he's taking long to pass. The pass, like Zess said, misplacing. You're not pushing the ball forward anymore. Like he's lost, innit? And that's all I can say. He's lost based on the pressure, and the whole team is moving like that. No one's leading. You see what I'm saying? No one's leading. And to be fair, like when the pressure's on, it reveals whether you got champion instincts or not. You know what I mean? Because champions thrive off pressure. And we just look like any time the pressure's there, we just melt, bruv.
So I think my thing with all that is I think I look at all the different iterations of like the Arsenal teams and squad that like we built over the years, and even under Mikel Arteta, and sometimes I listen to that and I find it mad harsh to like for the players. I find it harsh like to say that these guys aren't champion quality, even though the proof's in the pudding. But I find it harsh to say that because I feel like we've seen like various players come through. We've had the same spine for the most part, but then the one common denominator, and I'm going on to Arteta, is him. And because I think everything that you guys have mentioned is fair. I think with Zubimendi, I think at the beginning of the season, he was, in my opinion, guilty of side-to-side passing a bit. I think he could have broken the lines a bit more, that I thought anyway, but he scored a couple of bangers and it seemed to kind of like, like...
Paper
the cracks, wash away his sins, so to speak. I did think that. But I definitely thought he was quality. Like, and I'm not even saying he's not quality now. I don't think that you get interest from Real Madrid, interest from Liverpool. I think was Bayern Munich interested at once upon a time. I don't think you get interest from all those clubs without being a a top midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
I think what Meets has said, even what you've said, Mess, and even what Zest said, it's all correct. At that point now, squad management comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I mean? So I like before when I said I think our midfield's got weaker, it wasn't like me just mourning Thomas Partey, yeah? It was more so like, you see if Thomas Partey was there, he's got somebody to kind of learn off, and then he takes the reins of Thomas Partey, and then when it's getting tough like it is now, you bring maybe a Thomas Partey back in, or if a Jorginho was there. Mm-hmm. Now, if Norgard was going to be that person for you, because that's what you signed him for, he's also a Premier League captain from Brentford, then use him to do that. Because now, like when Zest is highlighting the Manchester United game, and I make him right, since that mistake, even the fans, we don't seem to trust him too much when the ball's coming to him. We're kind of expecting him to fumble that pass. That pass might be a little bit too far to the left, or too far to the right, or too heavy, or too soft. When that's happened, take him out of the fold a little. Take him out of the fold. Let somebody else play.
Let him clear his head, innit?
Let him clear his head. Let him come, because we can't just all of a sudden say this guy's not champions elect. This guy plays for Spain.
Yeah.
This guy's a Spanish international. Now, I know he's second in command to Rodri.
Well, and he's playing now, to be honest. Like, obviously, Rodri was injured, and then there was that period of him kind of getting acclimatized back into the Spanish ball. But Zubimendi was playing a lot of the games.
So for Spain, we see a champion.
Yeah.
Before he came to Arsenal, everybody wants him. He's at Arsenal Football Club, and all of a sudden he's washed. When I don't know. I'm asking them, like, I'm with fellow.
He's not washed.
No, I'm not saying he's not.
You did. You moved like
no, but I get what Strive.
Forget just this room. Forget this room. Put your phones on. Go on X. Go on Twitter. Go on Instagram. Everyone's on to Zubimendi. How? Why?
I do think that is
because he gets exposed. That means he's saying the six gets exposed, right?
I do think, and I do think that's an Arsenal fan thing anyway. Like, there is a scapegoat needed, and right now it's Zubimendi. A couple of weeks ago it was Odegaard. It will happen, but I take your point. Are we getting the best out of him? For whatever reason, are we putting him in position for him to play his best? And that is a coaching thing. Has his mentality shifted? That may be a player thing, but also we have to look at what's happened. And then if that is the case, does Arteta need to do a bit more to protect him? You got to think he's played the most minutes out of anyone in the team.
And Declan Rice as well.
Yeah, but he's played more than Declan Rice, I think.
But you know what's mad? Obviously, we talk about Zubi, but you got rid of Jorginho, and you see if Jorginho was at the club right now,
he'd be playing. Yeah.
You see if Zubi was keeping up with this, Jorginho's playing. So clearly, there's something in Norgard that he doesn't trust.
But then that is, and Strides will tell you, I kind of, even though I didn't really rate, like, I didn't want us to get Norgard per se, I understood the logic of, do you know what, he's Prem proven, he's a captain, the standards probably on and off the pitch are at a high level, and you can bring him in and the level shouldn't drop too much.
If you now like El Neni though, like doing his badges in the background.
Yeah, if you now can't trust him,
vibes.
Yeah,
for the vibes.
Yeah, but what have you brought him for? And then then you do have to start looking and being like, well, and again, like, you lot will know, I'm definitely pro Arteta, but then you have to start asking questions. Then why did you bring him? If you're not gonna play him now, or you couldn't play him enough so that Zubimendi would be ready now, then why did you bring him?
That's my worry with the Norgard situation. It's like you made such a fuss about signing him, captain from Brentford, Prem proven, so it shouldn't really be an issue. If someone gets injured, they're not there. If they're having a little downtime form, he should be able to slot right in.
And he's cold.
I don't understand why, if you've got this guy, you're not playing him.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And even we're to say that, there's something that Arteta doesn't trust. Well, you don't just buy a player on a whim. So you scouted him.
Yeah.
You've got scouting reports. You've got fitness reports. All of these reports. So you know what he can do. You can't tell me that he's come in and in training he's just.
Now you're unsure.
Doesn't work. Now you're unsure.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
And even if you are, how's that happened?
Yeah.
Like there's some level of negligence or passiveness somewhere, and we just have to work out where that.
But you know what it is though. Sorry to cut you.
No.
Arteta's catting to win so much, yeah, that when he gets to that 75% mark, it's like he don't want to change nothing.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Innit?
Yeah.
So he's catting for the win to the stage now he don't want to change nothing. So he'd rather just see what happens with what he
The
trusts.
same players that's working.
Yeah.
And Wenger used to do that a little bit. That's the thing that he mostly took off him that I don't like. You know what I mean?
But the problem with that is though, you've built a big squad. You've built a squad that, and of course you've had a lot of injuries. Like I think that's gone under the radar how many injuries you've had. But you built a big squad so that you should be able to manage that. That's the whole reason why you brought this squad. If you now are still saying I have to rely on Saliba, Gabriel, Rice, Zubimendi, Raya, Timber, Saka every game, then you have to look at the players that you bought. Or you have to look at yourself as a manager and say, do you know what? I need to trust my players. Because then otherwise, again, why did you buy them?
I'd say the injuries have definitely gone under the radar because the whole play on Arsenal's squad depth is immense.
Yeah, of course.
That's why. No one's ever going to outright state, oh yeah, it's the injuries and so on because of the squad depth. But it's fine building your squad depth. But then if you're not using them and you're only using your same 11, it defeats the object. And that kind of brings me to also, and I just want to get you guys' opinion, Wanyeri. Now, obviously, nobody has foreseen us getting all of these injuries. But it's like, he was part of the squad depth. We've sent him out on loan, whether it is a case to get more experience and build up his experience for next year or what have you. But now that is a player where in certain games where you're talking about unlocking certain situations, that's definitely someone who's capable of doing that. Do you know what I mean? Who is now not there. So when we're struggling and now, as fans, we're looking to Dowman and we're calling for Dowman, we're like, yo, get Max Dowman on. Do you know what I mean? Which is good. But at the same time, I'm the kind of person that's like, cool, I hear it, but it is the fact that we're relying on a 16-year-old to come on and take control and take the game by the scruff of the neck. One thing about Dowmans, Ranieri's, they are give me the ball kind of players. We've got many of players who are not. All right, they'll take the ball, but they're not a give me the ball, I'll do it myself. Odegaard is not a give me the ball. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think he's a give me the ball. I think he's not a give me the ball and let me
Do something.
score. He's give me the ball and let me dictate tempo. But I would say, and it kind of brings me on to the point, and funny enough, I'm glad you mentioned that because I did want to talk about Wanyeri and Miles a little bit later anyway. But
Okay.
I feel like in terms of Wanyeri, the reality was he probably wasn't going to get many games. So I get why he felt like, you know what, let him go and get minutes or whatever, because you've got, when he was there, you had Odegaard, Marino, Eze essentially playing in the same position. Then you had Noni, Saka, and then Dowman kind of floating around. So and Havertz when he was coming back essentially that could play in the positions that Wanyeri was going to play for. In hindsight, it looks like a terrible decision because not only has he not played that much, we've actually needed him at times. But I understand why the club he maybe felt like, do you know what?
Minutes.
I'm just never going to play. Let me go and get some minutes somewhere. I would have been selfish and said, yeah, you're not going. Like, you can play with the squad, be around the squad, and then make the ducks will fall where they may in the summer. If you want to go on loan in the summer, cool. But it actually brings me on to the front four. So I feel like, obviously, everyone's spoken about our attack throughout the season pretty much. It's not been at the level required. It's not been good. Players like Wanyeri, Dowman, have we actually got the best out of our attacking players that we have? Are there players that we should have kept and players that maybe we shouldn't have kept and all of that? But when I look at the front four that we played specifically, and that is Gyökeres, Havertz in the 10, Noni and Martinelli, and I'll go to Mia. What was your thoughts on that front four? How do you feel that they work together? And ultimately, and I'll even say for me, frankly, I don't think that front four works at all. I think if you play that front four, you're essentially saying we're not kicking ball. Like they're runners. Or
It's the beauty, isn't it? It's just figures just on.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts when you saw it, and what's your thoughts in general of that front four and the construction of our front four, really.
So for me with the front four, the issue is more than anything is that you got Noni, who's a dribbler. His job is to basically run his opposite number into the ground. But I don't know if it's the pressure or whatever, because he's known as a dribbler. He's not playing within the perimeters. He keeps doing the same thing.
I've been playing on the pitch at times.
He keeps doing the same thing over and over again, where he's beating his man. And, flipping it. Yeah, this is football talk.
Yeah.
Pause amnesty, man.
So then, he's going past his man, and certain times he ain't getting the ball into the box, isn't it? This is mad, bro. So he ain't getting his crosses in, yeah? And so, for me, I think he needs to slow down and play within the perimeters and mix it up, because ultimately you're playing on the opposite side to... It's not like the 90s where left wingers play on the left side. And so you're constantly going on your weaker foot to go down the line. You got to change out, come inside, one, twos.
No, like you're saying, man. Let's do some football, man.
Yeah, 1, 2s, etc. Do you get what I mean? So he needs to mix it up. And I feel like where he's anxious as well, because of the same thing with Arteta, it's like always picking the same players. So whatever you do doesn't really matter if you ain't a certain man. Do you get what I mean, innit?
Yeah.
So he's, in the last 8 weeks, he's mostly been our most productive attacker, you know that? In terms of goals and assists.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean anything. Because as soon as Saka's there, Saka's playing.
Yeah.
Saka's been dog. Did you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's the golden boy. So with that, what happens is you lose a lot of chemistry, because if you kick ball, we all know if you're in a team and you're coming on and you do well, but next week you're on the bench anyway, it's like after a while you start feeling like, what is this? Did you get what I mean? And so I feel like going back into the, I feel that's an issue with the front four. Martinelli as well. I'm not saying that he deserves to start, but I'm saying there's an element of you're not earning your right to play. You're just a part of a system. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And then with the front four in general, I just feel like each player is elite in their own way, but there's something that the manager's not. He's not making them gel. It's like defense, 2-man, and 4 attackers. You get what I mean, innit? It's like, and then the centre backs aren't helping the attack, because Saliba will break into space for 7 yards. I think, have a Metal Gear Solid moment, exclamation mark over his head, and then G-check himself and then square it to... So how many times do you want me to make runs? So then if you're a striker as well and you're used to playing on the shoulder or whatever, or dropping 5 yards to receive the ball, after a while you stop doing that. It's not the right mentality, but it's been going on for months now. So now I just think like there's a total disconnect, not just with the front four, but the whole team. And Calafiori not being there is an issue as well.
Yeah,
because you can't play 2 right backs that are just stable. So I think to stay on the top front four, I feel like everything around it is a problem, not just them. So that's really my take on it. Like,
Strauss, what do you think?
No, I was proper like listening to Mita, and I was just like, like taking in what he said, and I was like, found it mad interesting. I think you give Noni more credit than I would, personally. I think, I'm not trying to like rag on the fella, like he's a gooner now, but I don't. When you say that he's probably been our most productive attacker, that surprised me, to be fair, because I definitely wouldn't know that just off face value, right? And I don't know that he is like he thinks that intrinsically and it's that deep for him. To me, he gets his head down, he tries to beat his man, does jinky with jinky, runs off the pitch. Sometimes he doesn't, might get a cross off. His end product has always been kind of like lukewarm. Like sometimes it's hit and miss. And I just feel like we're just getting more of Madueke. Do you get what I mean? So I don't know that. I don't feel like he's had this this mental acrobats that Arteta's imposed upon him. I just think this is Madueke personally. Martinelli the same. I think, you know, and I'm a Martinelli fan. I like what Martinelli gives us, but you have to understand what your profile of player is. And I suppose what Mess has spoken towards rings true in a sense that if you've got two dribblers / runners, then we're not looking to keep the ball so much. They're not going to pop it. They're not going to do like tiki taka, especially Noni and White. That's, you know, we're not going to get much football there. And then Gyökeres, you know, bless him. But
You know,
we're
It's crazy.
we're not getting football when you put that three together, and then when you have Havertz behind them, you just know that there's no football being played there. So are we looking to, like you mentioned, are they hanging off the shoulder? Are we looking to play through balls? Are we looking to play it into the channels, play it into the space? Are we crashing the box? Are we putting balls into the box? We're not even playing like that. So it's like,
but that's across the whole team. That's what I'm saying.
So it's like, I don't know if it's when I think about those four, I think that those four, like you said, in their individual on individual merit, they bring something to the team. Like, I'm by no means am I trying to rub them out. Yeah, but I'm just saying together, I haven't seen that
Chemistry, innit?
Yeah, I haven't seen that work. I don't think that they're dead at all.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen that work together. Like, so for instance, like, I think Havertz should probably leave the midfield now. I think we've seen that experiment enough times. So I think we should probably just the Southampton game, okay, I can forgive you. There was no other option. You should be good enough to play there and get a result. At least get us the penalties or something. Like, okay, Arteta, no problem. C, I don't know if we had that much of a choice. I think he even tried Saka in the 10 at one point. I think he too little, too late. Whatever. Yeah, this game that's just gone, I don't think Havertz should have played in the middle. If you wanted to play Havertz, play him up top. Eze was in the. I always believe, if you're fit enough to be on the bench, you're fit enough to start. That's how I've always thought that. To be fair, so I'm like, Eze's on the bench, play him. You know what I'd even like to see? Like, I don't know what you guys think here, but I'd even like to just have Declan Rice doing, because you bought him as a 6 to begin with. You've turned him into, like, we're doing loads of experiments in the middle, innit? So now Declan Rice is a box-to-box midfielder. He's doing it pretty well, to be fair. Yeah, but we bought him as a 6 to begin with. Havertz, you bought him as an 8. You realised that weren't working. You played him up top. Realised that worked. You put him back in the middle. Now, is that because of injury? Potentially. Marino's out of it. He's not available. You sent Ranieri on loan. I don't know why you've done that when Marino's gone. All right, cool, wicked. But we still got Eze. Odegaard seems to be brittle now. Any little touch, he's gone. Yeah? Cool. Eze's there. Just play Eze, maybe play Darwin beside him, because I'm at the point now where I'm like, we ain't got that much. We have to try something. We ain't got much of a choice. Zubi seems that he needs a little bit of a rest. Eze, Darwin, Rice, single pivot. Let's try that.
So what?
Yeah. I'm on trying something, because we've tried you see what we've seen. We've tried that enough times.
There's no work rate in there.
There's no. The issue that you'll get with that is, and especially now, is Arteta's not going to do it now. Not at this point of the season. I doubt he's going to make a significant enough change in the middle that we haven't seen yet. I think if we haven't seen it, it ain't going to happen now. We're just going to have to ride it. But in terms of
But do you think that could be an issue though? Like, because
Possibly.
we see Pep try different things. We see him try and bear different iterations at the beginning of the season, and now we kind of know what his best 11 is.
But listen to what you've said though. I think our issue was at the start of the season, to a degree, it wasn't ideal, but we've had injuries, and it kind of was piecing together, and it felt like, you know what, where do we have the best balance? Defensively and in the double pivot. The front four is kind of working it out, but it's okay. Pep does all of that at the beginning of the season, but now he's kind of in a groove where he knows what he knows, and now they're on the mark.
And they're clicking, innit?
And they're clicking. Whereas I don't know now if Arteta's going to be like, you know what,
Oh, Jesus, happened again.
yeah.
That new iPhone, innit?
Yeah.
So, they're all on the same. They're all on the same iPad. That was crazy.
And
Sorry.
no, it's cool. I think ultimately, unfortunately, we're at a point where Arteta's not going to try radical things when every game is basically a cup final and we're like 6 games out from the end of the season. I just don't think he's going to do it. In terms of the front four, I just think you can't play off the ball players altogether. Like if you look at all of the players, Noni is a dribbler. He's not technically good. He's not got guile. He's not going to get involved in the actual build up and creating opportunities. He's a player that thrives on getting one-on-one. So he needs the team to get him one-on-one. You've got Martinelli, who's essentially the same. He's an off-the-ball player. He makes good runs. He might try and beat the defender, but ultimately he thrives off service, and hopefully he can finish last action, either a shot or a cross that's going to get an assist. What's Havertz's best quality? Havertz's best quality is his movement. Off the ball, he creates space, he gets into good little areas. Again, he's pretty much a low-touch, off-the-ball player, but he's technically good.
So it's Gyökeres. So
And Gyökeres is a runner. Gyökeres is someone that runs the channels, hopefully gets isolated, can go past or bully a defender, and he'll get a finish. None of them are technically trying to actually engage with the other midfielders, Zubimendi or
You see where the
or
disconnect
Rice.
is then?
The disconnect is based. So essentially, you've just got bare players that can't kick ball. So now and then the result of that is you play Bournemouth and they look like they're better footballers than you.
But then if you play
Because-
Havertz further up, though, Havertz naturally will drop in anyway and pack out the midfield.
But then what you have is normally the midfielder who is technically good. So Havertz is good at being a link-up player. He can be the link. He can play. He can go into deep areas and then play 1-2s. Can almost be that Giroud-ish pinball where you can have 1-2s. He can get into space and create space for others. Gyökeres is gonna be a runner, but then who's actually gonna be linking? So what you've got is Rice and Zubimendi, who, if a team's doing well, can just block. They can block that. And you've got players that don't actually want to engage with them. So you've just got a disconnected
It's bare
midfield.
boundaries.
That's
You've
what
got
City
loads
done.
of boundary. And that's what City done. They just put a bank of 4 and said, Rice and Zubimendi play through the lines. Havertz is essentially not doing anything. Like, he's trying to like make little pockets, but it's always runs.
Yeah, it's not.
Gyökeres is now on the
conversation.
shoulder. So you just got loads of players that can't kick balls. So as much as Ødegaard has been rubbish for us, there's certain games where he still has a need because he will try and link play.
Against
Eze's
Man
the
City
same.
on the weekend, he will be. Even though we're not
Yeah.
liking his output, he will help that
He will
block.
help in that. Eze, similar, where he hasn't always been good, but what he will do is still coming because his natural instinct is still to try and get on the ball. Havertz and Gyökeres, and then play. If you play Havertz and Gyökeres, to be honest, you're probably better off playing Saka and Trossard. Or if you play, you have to have Saka or Trossard because they'll at least try and get on the ball. And they can become a third midfielder. They can actually try and link play with someone. But playing all 4 of them, it never works. Like it's just not gonna work because you've just got bare man who just who just can't kick ball. Like not like they can't kick ball, but you know what I mean, innit? They're just not.
They're not orchestrators.
They're not orchestrators. They're all kind of off the ball players that thrive better on either movement or getting service. But yeah, that's my little
Yeah.
analytical.
So the front four is horrible, basically.
Not the whole front, not the
Not
whole
individually,
front four,
but the chemistry.
as
that
yeah, the
construction
unit,
of
the
the
lack of
front
chemistry.
four is just never gonna work. And if you look at the games that has happened when they play Gyökeres, Martinelli, and Noni, I don't think we've won a game or we've played terribly. I think we played Brentford. It was a draw, and to be honest, we kind of hung on in that game. There was another game as well. I can't remember the game. Forgive me, but it just doesn't work. And then you add Havertz to that. That is just haram.
We had, I think Mansfield in the FA Cup game. Like, I swear we.
No, but Gyökeres came on, but Jesus started, I think.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But yeah. But anyway, so I guess overall, obviously, we know that we didn't have a great game in general. The game wasn't good, but we're looking at it now. City have obviously, we know the result now. City have beat Chelsea 3-0. We go into, so that leaves them, 6 points behind with a game in hand. And obviously we've got to play them next week. What's your overall feeling on where that leaves the title race? I'll go Zest. Like, what's your overall feeling of where we're at now and I guess going forward?
Do you know what? I'll just be exactly how I have been. Like, I've probably been too loud in the season to actually backtrack now. So I'm going to have to go out with my sword either way. I think we're going to Etihad. We're going to get something at the Etihad. What that something is, I don't know. Albeit 3 points or a minimum of 1. But I do believe we're going to get something at the Etihad just because it's now a position of fight or flight. We've got no choice. We have absolutely no choice now but to go to the Etihad and do something. If we had obviously won on Saturday, then yeah, still pressure, but it takes away the pressure from the Etihad game. It's not a be-all and end-all. But now I think we just have to go there and get something somehow. I don't know how, and this is because I'm going off of Saturday. Hopefully once Wednesday comes, there's a big difference. We play a completely different game. And then there's a little bit more to say, okay, we can go to the Etihad with that in mind or what have you. That's kind of my hopes in that situation. That's fully my hopes. But right now that's all I got. Off of the back of Saturday, that's all I got. Hope. Do you know what I mean?
It's crazy.
I was trying to go to Zest and be a bit more positive because I thought coming to you next. What do you think?
Look, I'm trying not to be like negative. I'm trying to be positive. Like I was positive at the beginning of the season. I kept setting tests. I was like, all right, cool, let's do this. All right, let's get to the third round of the FA Cup. Okay, wow, fourth round. Okay, cool. Like quarterfinals. Actually, it's been more of a successful season. If you actually think about it, if I wanted to be a scumbag, I could say we're having a more successful season. We've got to a final now. We've got to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. We're on course to getting into a semi-finals, which matches what we've done in the Champions League. Mm-hmm. So far, it's more successful, even if we finish second. Incremental success.
That's horrible.
But that would be, yeah. At some point, yeah, I can't keep being positive. So I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real, man. And we don't win at the Etihad. We just about get a draw at the Etihad. And City's not like, this isn't like, okay, City of old. This is a Manchester City that they've started this work from last season, by the way. From when they started, when they bought Shirky, all these men from last season, when they had to kind of start doing surgery to their team. They started from last season in January when we should have, to be honest.
Yeah, Mamouche and...
we should have been doing that. We didn't do anything. They started from then. And then this season have been gelling. They haven't really been that great, to be fair. I actually think Arsenal were playing really good. I think it's not enough to just say you're not good because your attack isn't as fluent as we're used to seeing. We've actually been pretty decent. But what we haven't done that City have done, City's been adapting. I've seen Pep put the shackles on Shirky. Then I've seen him realise, you know what, that's not working, you know. I need to let that Donny express himself. And I've seen him let him express himself. Whereas I think on the flip side, our number would see, okay, I've put the shackles on him, okay, I need you to play in this particular system. But I think there's been a need where sometimes you need to take those shackles back off and say, express yourself again. You don't do it early enough. And now we get players that are a shadow of themselves. So I think what City do really well and what Pep does really well is is squad management. Now, the problem we're facing is he has fine-tuned each of his players and his team at the right time, at the right moment. And that momentum that they got from beating us in the way that they beat us in that final has led them on to they progressed in the FA Cup. They smashed Chelsea. I told you they smashed Chelsea. I said, do not bank on Chelsea.
Yeah, but we all knew that they were going to pump Chelsea. Like,
Some people didn't, Zess.
I think many were just kind of saying it for the sake of saying it. Even the Chelsea fans who were like, oh yeah, we're just going to roll over.
But
you
they
didn't
knew
have
deep
no
down.
choice.
Yeah.
You were always getting pumped. They were going to get pumped all day today. Like, there was no two ways about it. Just on that point anyway.
So then now we go to the Etihad and we've got to play them, playing how we're playing and playing how they're playing. I can't think anything other than I'm praying that we can just at least get a draw. Like that's what I'm praying for. But I'm not optimistic, to be honest. I think they're gonna be point sharing, but after they go to, I think they'll beat us. I think they'll go to Burnley, beat them. I think it's, you know what I think? I do think we might stumble across the line, but I think it's because they drop points maybe to some team that we just don't expect them to.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I know that would be fine, but
I think that is. But I said this weeks ago. I think that is the way we will win the league.
But then remember, we got a tough game against the Hammers coming up as well.
And Newcastle,
but
Newcastle's at home. It was West Ham away, right?
Yeah, but look, when Hammers had to put pressure on Spurs, we saw what they done. Dispatched Wolves 4-0.
Yeah, but that was actually. Let me not say that.
And you saw, I'm telling you, it's different. On paper, it looks like we've got a decent run in, but actually, what's actually happening now is we're not playing the teams anymore. We're playing ourselves. We're playing our mentality. We're playing against the momentum, and that's my fear. So it's not that I'm trying to be negative. It's just I'm just we keep saying these two words, trends and data. Every single season since maybe 21, 22. The same thing has happened.
Oh, don't do that.
It has.
Even when we wasn't fighting for the league.
Yeah,
Champions League.
Yeah, Champions League. We should have finished third. We ended up finishing fifth. The same stuff happened. We played Spurs. Rob Holding got dealt with. And I'm like, why haven't you changed it? I always look to my gaffer. I'm like, gaffer, save us. There's always a time I look to
They
it.
played Kivio, innit?
Yeah, the season after that, that's the one where we're leading for all of the season, 22-23.
Yeah.
The same sequence of games, Sporting, Southampton, Manchester City. And in that season, we lost against City in the Cup, and I think that's when we gave them the momentum. And I said from then, I think we've effed it. The 23-24 season, we did this Havertz experiment in the middle. That stopped working. So we put him up top. We started firing. Play him in the middle against Aston Villa, we fumble, and then we go on this crazy winning run, but so do City. I think City look at Arsenal and they're like, we don't mind it when we're having to go head-to-head with you guys, and they're up for it. Whereas when it was Liverpool last season, it's like, Liverpool's kind of run away. Liverpool ain't even playing that great, but they've kind of run away with it. City go on, fumble, Arsenal's the next thing in charge. But when it's Arsenal, for some reason, City just get galvanised. And
the only reason why I would disagree with that is, I think when Liverpool have won it, there's not been a race. Whenever there's been a race, City have won it. Even against Liverpool, it don't matter. Like, I feel like they were so far away, they just was like, oh, the season's done.
Last season,
and that's where I think our biggest fumble has been so far this year.
Point, though. I'm like, when Liverpool pull away, they pull away, and City's like, okay, it's long. When we pull away,
we didn't pull away though.
We didn't pull away.
We never pulled away.
And that's what I think the biggest fumble is.
That Nottingham Forest game.
The Nottingham Forest game, the Man United game, the Liverpool game. They were the games where, and the Brentford game. They were the games where it's like, do you know what? We just get over the line. We drew those games. We lost those games. If you win those games, it goes from being about 7-9 points, because it's essentially 6 points, isn't it? Because they've got a game in hand. It goes from being 6 points to being 9 or 10. I always said to you, and I think Meets we spoke about, I think if we get to 10 points and we're on the same games, I think we've won the league. If we don't, it's a bit techie, because I think that if City feel like they're still in it, then it's going to get techie at this point. And I think for us, we will stumble, we may like drop points, but it's like if we feel like we've won it, it won't be too bad.
The games where they should have felt deflated, we never
took it. Yeah, it was like they dropped points, we dropped points.
You guys remembering this correctly? Because I think there was a time when we were at least 7 points. I'm not talking ahead. I mean, even clear 7-8 points clear this season. Pulling ahead.
Only 7, and then the game
after.
Those points were still achievable. You see, if we had got to like 11, 12 at those stages, man, look at it and say,
it's
done.
I don't think anyone has been 7 points clear and not won the Premier League. I don't think that's actually.
Newcastle have done it. Man United have done it.
I don't know if it's 7 or 8, but I'm gonna, after the episode, I'm gonna actually research it and I'll put it.
I just feel like we got there and we had to get that next 3 to get to the 11.
Remember, even United when we won it in '98 was like 12 points clear.
Claire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a
Newcastle
point
had that when they
Newcastle were
fumbled it.
clear.
At Christmas.
Yeah, Man United when the Aguero season, I believe as well. They were like 7 points clear.
I just think it says a lot that we're 9 points ahead. I'm not clear, because maybe there was 6 points clear, but 9 points ahead, and we're not saying that we've pulled far enough ahead with a game against Bournemouth at home to say we've pulled far enough away that we should be able to deflate
But
City.
the game in hand though as well. I'm not saying that's everything.
Yeah, I just never felt that
It's still in your hands to a certain degree because it's still in your hands, but it's flaky because the game in hand.
It was always in our hands.
No, but hear me though. But it's flaky because the game in hand, okay, that's 3 points if they win. They beat you, it automatically goes to 3. It's squeaky bum time.
Yeah.
So the fact that we lost to Bournemouth, it's turned it into next week's a cup final basically.
It's back in both teams' hands now. It was in City's, then it was in ours. Now it's back in both again. You know what I mean? Because of that situation, and that's why I believe that we'll go to Etihad and we'll leave with something. Because if we go there and get turned over,
you're definitely a believer.
I'm not. You know what? Like I said, I've been making too much noise. I have to be. I can't backtrack now. And like even this weekend, I think for me, seeing the crashing out that's been happening for me, it's just made me think this is crazy. Like people that I looked at and thought, yeah, man, you've got you know what I mean.
I did it in your DMs.
I just believe.
I did it in your DMs. I don't know. You put it on blast.
I did put it on blast.
I'm telling
you don't deserve to just be able to just put it in the DMs.
I'm trying to save you. I'm like, bro, you know what? It's time to lower the volume now. I tried to tell you early.
Bro, it's too late. It's too late. I believe in what's going on here. I believe in the phases.
I'm trying to help my boy.
You know what I mean? I respect it, but you see me, just let me die on the field with my sword, man. I'd rather go out, you know what I'm saying? Because, listen, I'll tell you this. If this doesn't happen, next season, I don't know where I'm going to be. I'm not going to be the guy no more. I'm not going to the Emirates. I'm getting rid of all the shirts, everything. So, better I just go out this year believing. But again, even all that set aside, I do believe we are going to get over the line. I just believe it's not going to be down to us. It's going to be because of somebody else who takes points off City that nobody foresaw. Because I don't believe City are winning every game between now and the end of the season. But like I said weeks ago, I don't believe City would, and I also don't believe that we would either.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's the issue.
So I guess in short, Strives, is this the biggest week of Arteta's career as a manager? Yeah,
it should be, but I don't think Arsenal's an ambitious club. I think he's safe whatever happens, man. I think we're going to offer him an extension. He's going to be with us to where he wants till he wants to leave. But it should be the biggest week of his career. It should be. Look, Arteta's still on the brink of. You could still win the Champions League. I know you're gonna watch this. You might even click this, and it becomes a joke. But you genuinely could. You could beat Sporting. Who knows what's gonna happen with Barca and Atletico's game? We've already beaten Atletico once. Who knows? We could find ourselves in the final somehow, and then it comes down to it's 50-50. Do you get what I'm saying?
And honestly, not even somehow. If we beat, again, we can take our form out now. We were the best team in the Champions League group stages. Mm-hmm. We afforded to get a good draw. We've got Sporting. We go through that. If you get Atletico, we're probably favourites. Obviously not. Maybe our form is different or whatever, but we beat them 4-0 in the group stages.
100%.
We can beat them again. And even Barca, I probably wouldn't have us favourites now the way we're playing, but we definitely, that's a 50-50 game.
Exactly.
And final, who knows? But
my issue with that, though, is I don't think Arteta's a good one-off.
Nah, I don't either.
One-off manager. Yeah. He's not good at one-off games.
You know the worst thing?
Yeah.
I believe the same thing. Because over 2 legs, I feel like you got it.
Yeah, but
over
over one-off
game.
Final.
That's the problem, man.
Because he always wants the second
game. He wants to do some foolishness or... Do you know what I mean? That's my problem. So even the Champions League, cruising all the way to the final, I believe, but the final, the one game thing.
But imagine you get there and somehow he learns all of his lessons on that day, and we win that final, and then you win the league. All of a sudden,
then everything's forgiven and
all this is forgiven. I'll still think to myself, you know what? Maybe you should leave on a high.
He would. Maybe 100%.
I'll be chatting because I'm an Arsenal fan. So I'll be chatting. I always told people I'm Arsenal first. That's why when I'm saying like, oh, Arteta this, Arteta that, it's because I want Arsenal to win. Like, I don't think Arteta's dead. I think he's a great manager. I just ain't got the time for him to become great whilst I need to win stuff on my watch. Yeah. I need to win now. You get what I mean?
I get that.
So if he wins and what have you, in my mind, I'll be thinking, you seem to like fumble every April. That seems to be a thing for you. You got to get over that because you've got me a couple of trophies. You won't hear me moan at all.
He's got more credit, right?
Of course, you will not hear me moan at all. And he's still on the brink of that greatness. But it's hard to see him deliver that because he's shown me over 3 to 4 years that he makes similar kind of mistakes year after year after year. And he just hasn't shown me that he's got over it yet. That's just where I'm at.
I think that's what the pressure is. There's so much pressure to win, to get over the line.
Yeah.
That's what seems to be messing them up.
Yeah.
Once they've been able to get over the line, I feel next year will be completely different.
Yeah.
So different. But right now, the pressure to get over the line is crazy. And from a fan perspective, the PTSD. That's why for us, losing one game is such a madness. Because
Fans
we,
are booing at the top of the league.
as soon as we lose a game, we go into meltdown. Oh my God, this happening again.
But I think the
Do you know what I
booing
mean?
was based on
The performance.
the attitude of the players as well. That you can see that they're squabbling, they're not doing their jobs. There's a lot of unrest, and that might also be that, you know, like Mourinho used to have this where he used to win, but you see when you're playing a style that you don't necessarily agree on, and it starts crashing, that's when everyone starts grumbling. You see, like with the Chelsea thing where Hazard was playing like a left back, but he's winning. See, when he gets to the second and third season now, and you got me chasing the other winger like I'm some wing back, I'm not on it now. Because I'm not expressing myself. And I think some of the players have been working with it, and now they're a bit disgruntled. And we're not getting over the line. You get what I mean, innit?
And I think even to add to that as well, if you're in a position where you keep seeing people doing rubbish, you have these talks, you have these clear outs, or these like, you're having it out with all the players and you're doing all of that, then they're still doing the same foolishness. At some point, it is going to start to spill out into games because it's like, everyone's in their mind thinking, I got to take responsibility, or I've got to be the one that's calling out people because that's part of leadership. But, mate, there's a very thin line between calling out players and you two are just arguing. Do you know what I mean? So all of that stuff, when it's pressure's high, when the stakes are high, because all of those players, let's be real, they probably want to win more than we do. These are high, what's the name, sport athletes. So their level of competitiveness, even just to will to win, is probably higher than the average person, let alone us. Obviously, as fans, we love Arsenal. We want them to win more than anything. But as a footballer, as a sports professional, they want to win just as badly as we do. Like they're the ones that have failed. They're the ones that have failed 3 years in a row and whatever. So sometimes that will to win might even be one of the reasons why they're feeling so much pressure. I've never seen some of them mistakes.
I've never seen Rice move like this.
Ever. Or even Gabriel.
Whether it's to England, West Ham, or this is the first time I've seen him look like he's a bit out of control.
He's a bit,
But you man actually mentioned, you spoke on this when we were talking about whether he'd be a suitable captain. Yeah. And it was his inability to regulate his emotions why we doubted why he is maybe not the captain at the moment.
Jesus came out and said it a few days later.
And then he got the armband against Bournemouth. And we literally saw it. We saw snippets on the TV for those of us that watched it on the TV. But my brother, he's a season ticket holder as well, and he said what you said, that when he was there, it looked like the players there was disharmony. They're arguing, and Rice was at the centre of a lot of it. But he was our captain that day. You get what I mean? So there's a lot of people that ask for Rice to be the captain, and I have no doubt that he will be a great captain in the future. But he has to. That emotional regularity.
It's the pressure. It's the pressure right now. And he lives on TV. He loves the camera. So you see that pressure's hitting him different right now. You love chatting skin teeth with presenters, you know?
And this is the thing, and like, again, and obviously we said it before, so I don't want to go over it again, but when you are like the person that watches and you are the person that is told, you're the man, like you're going to be the one that leads us, you're going to be this, and you hear that, maybe you start to think this is how I'm supposed to be. And then you might be overcompensating a little bit, because I do think that he needs to just tone it down a little bit.
I
And
don't
he
think the
needs-
TikToks helped as well in training because you're training to all these like TikTok videos where you're being bigged up and like fan TikToks where you're they're making you out to be bigger than what you are. So I don't.
It's a tough one though, isn't it? Because it's a thin line. Because we also look at things and like when Cherky did the kick-ups, for example, we were like, no team talk needed. Like the players are gonna see that and be pissed, and they're gonna be wanting to go. So like, there's also, I don't know if they hear all of the negativity. Is it a positive or a negative? Sometimes it can fuel people, but maybe sometimes it can be a negative. It's like it's hard to know what the balance is for players. Honestly, I don't envy. Although I would love to be a fly on the wall, I don't envy Arteta's job
facts.
because right now to manage all of these personalities and these like combustible energies from inside the club and outside of the club must be really difficult. I wanted to end on it feels silly to talk about it now because I think it's so dependent on just how the season goes in a weird way. But obviously during the week there was talk of Sammy Mockbell came out of an article talking about Miles and Ethan potentially being up for sale. Zes, you spoke about it a bit earlier, and I thought, you know what, it was a topic that I actually wanted to talk about. What's your thoughts on the two and your thoughts potentially on them being sold, and even just as a club, positive, negative, do you think it's the right way for the club to act, or is it something that we need to do as a club, like keep those players in the fold? What's your thoughts?
For me, I wouldn't like to see either of them leave. Just because I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm one of them Arsenal fans that gets attached to all the players from Hale End. But I do feel a slightly more attachment to these two. Do you know what I mean? Now, I don't know whether that's just because we've seen that they can do certain things and get to certain levels. Maybe it's just the fact that they're both black. Do you know what I mean? Like, it might just be that. I'll be real. You know what I mean? Like, we want to see these two do well because they're young and black and blah, blah, blah. But I also understand, like, from the club, look, they would know whether these two are going to be good enough. Do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, if they're not, or they, Arteta feels they're not, then sell. Because one thing that we've been known to do in the past, or it's proven, we wait too long. And then we're not getting certain monies for players. And then our whole selling comes... That's why, like, one of our highest sells is what?
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Do you know what I mean?
5 million, yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if it means that, look, you've identified now that they're not good enough for whatever reason, then if you can get certain money, then why not? The only thing I would ask is don't sell it to the Premier League team. Sell them abroad. But if I had to choose, I'd prefer to keep them both at the club, especially Ethan, because I think he's got something.
So Straz, I know obviously we spoke about it. I know you have a strong opinion on this, and I wanted to get everyone's opinion, but I wanted to get your opinion on it as well, so you can express that.
I think they have to stay, man. I think they have to stay. I think it'll be a huge indictment on the club, huge indictment on the gaffer if they have a breakout season, and then the next season they barely get used, and then they get sold, and whilst they've come in and done all that, we've brought in players that haven't wowed us. Like, for instance, I questioned whether we needed Noni Madueke in the first place because I was very satisfied with Ethan's deputising when Saka was injured. 10 goals for the season at 17, out of position. That's someone you can work with. That's someone you can coach that. You should be able to coach that. That's what you are, right? You're a coach, yeah? You're a gaffer. You sent him out on loan now, and then I'm being told that we might sell him. What? After I was being clipped up and different podcasts saying that this guy's a wonder kid, this guy's the future. That doesn't make sense. Miles Lewis-Skelly gets his debut for England. He scores in his debut. I'm seeing Nico O'Reilly live out Miles Lewis-Skelly's career, bruv. You see, like, Creed 3, bruv. Creed 3, when that guy comes out of pen, I'm seeing Nico O'Reilly living out my man's career. I'm thinking, what's going on here? Like, why is this not happening now? Obviously, MLS he has to take some responsibility for that, but I actually thought he wasn't too bad at
Southampton, Bournemouth,
Bournemouth game. I thought he went too bad. I think you persevere with these players, man. I think you coach them. I think we've highlighted what they're not so good at. I think MLS likes contact a little bit too much. Yeah, Ethan probably just needs a little bit more intelligence in the game at senior level. Loans, your work, play him against opposition that he's proven himself against in the previous season. Work with him. I don't think we sell him, and I think if we do sell him, big indictment on the club, big indictment on the gaffer, which would be a shame because he's actually done well to bring through these youth. He's brought through Darwin, so it'd be a shame for it to end like that. So yeah, that's where I'm at on it.
Can I just start? Just sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Because one point you said is, obviously as a coach, you should be coaching him, but if the coach feels that he can't get better from them, shouldn't it then be a situation, or maybe is then the situation of, well, I can't get better or I can't do better for it. If this is the case, so then sell and be able to make money from it.
100%. But I suppose where I push back on it is like, how do you arrive at that after a season and a half?
Definitely.
Like, you've cashed in your chips that early.
Definitely. Especially if MLS playing out of position.
Yeah.
Well, both of them.
Both of them, yeah.
100%. So, yeah.
Me, so you think, I'll talk after you.
I think it's more. I agree, but I think it's more of a business decision. If they go, and I think it's more of the fact that for years we haven't sold well, and we keep buying. So there has to come a time where you have to hold an L to move forward, and they've got value. Trossard's got no value. Martinelli's is a senior squad player, so I don't think he would leave. So the money really is only going to come from there. And they're homegrown, so you're going to get a standard 35 mil for them. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Facts.
Because
probably
Miles,
more.
like you said, now he's an international, so he's going to... So I feel like that's 70 mil there, and they need to bring in at least 100 mil to balance the book. So I think it's more of a bit... I don't think it's a... they're not good enough? I think it's a business decision, but what I don't want to see happen is a man goes to Man United. Or he's at Chelsea.
Yeah.
And then it
Like,
just starts doing that.
yeah, and the problem is that someone like Villa, that would be a good fit for a MLS or something, but they're a one in, one out situation. So then financially, they can't buy my man unless they sell someone. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So is that where do they go? And for them, they're not going to want to go to a Fulham if a Man United's knocking the door. Do you get what I mean?
Right.
So it gets all political. But I feel like I agree with as a fan, I agree with what you and Zest are saying, but as understanding the business side of it, I can see how it happens. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. It's such a tough one for me. And again, like, I spoke about it, and then obviously this news came out a couple of days later, but I feel like it's difficult because, of course, you look at these players, you immediately have affinity with them. I was watching them in the youth games, looking at them, thinking that they're going to come through, they're going to be potential top players for us. They then have breakout seasons, especially Ethan. Like, although Miles went further and had like you'd say a better season in a way, just in terms of what he done playing for England, becoming an established player. Ethan to me was like a crown jewel. Like he was like, he looked like potentially he could, like the world's at his feet. So I always looked at him as someone that, he's going to come through easily, going to be a player for us. Looking at it now, fast forwarding, looking at the squad dynamics and looking at the fact that realistically, although he was really good for us, done really well, there were points last season even that you could see some of his limitations. Like, after a while, the defenders started to play him a little bit easier and he wasn't as effective. Miles, similarly, had an excellent season, but you could see from like the PSG game, the Wolves game, there was starting to be some limitations that were getting exploited. Like, they were starting to trap him. And then from that, like we spoke about it, like from the PSG game, from that, you could start to see teams starting to like play him and like set traps for him, and then like would lose the ball. Also this season, he hasn't played well, if we're just being frank. Like, every game that he's played, apart from ironically Bournemouth, I think, and a couple of the Champions League games, he's not done that well.
On the edge of poor performance.
Yeah, he's been like, it's been average to poor performances. So it's tough because you look at these players, and if we're being frank with Ethan, he's at Marseille and he's not really playing. Like, if we're being honest, and as much as we look at it, like, of course, the Zerbi was there and he got sacked, or he left, and that's going to destabilise it. But I also look at it and think the other side of it is, if he was just unreal, they'll play him.
regardless.
If you're Miles at Marseille now and the manager gets sacked, do you think that they're saying, oh, well, he wasn't my loan, I ain't playing him? He's gonna play. So maybe this is all part of learning, this is all part of everything. But also, if the players don't want to wait around, because again, we have this assumption that they're happy to go on loans, they're happy to just sit on the bench for 2-3 years to like wait for their chance. Ethan, there was already talk when he was 17 that he was willing to leave if he weren't going to get a pathway into the first team.
Yeah.
Miles has now played for England, and then now you want me to be third choice left back, and you only plays when Hincapie and Calafiori are injured, or against Mansfield or one of them teams. He might think I can play weekend, especially if Man United and Chelsea and these type of teams are saying you'll play every game if you come here.
You've made a good point as well with the Ethan. I forgot about that. So it's like you've been told something.
Yeah.
I'll use the work analogy.
You signed the contract.
Yeah.
You've been promised a position.
And then all of a sudden now,
there's the next man.
yeah,
Recruitment team is drawn.
You're like I'll use your thing. You're on secondment. They're telling you you're going to be the manager. Then they bring a manager in and say, well, sorry, mate, you're going to have to go back to your old job. So sometimes people aren't going to be happy with that. And then, as Mita said, they're pure profit. You might get 50 mil for both of them, or 60 mil and 40 mil. All of a sudden, you're looking at like a big profit in a club that don't sell well. Mm-hmm. If Arteta don't feel that they're gonna play right away and they're not happy with their position,
and also
you
Berta's
probably
gonna
have
be
to
judged
sell.
on that.
And Berta's gonna be judging it as well.
Say Berta's a whole different element in this situation.
And at the end of the day, if we're operating as a big clubs sell big young talent every season.
Yeah.
I think what we're worried about is because we don't typically have players at this level all the time. Like, we have a couple, but let's be real. Ethan or Miles haven't done anywhere near what Smith Rowe done for Arteta, and he was sold.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, let's call it right. Smith Rowe pretty much saved his job.
Yeah, I get
at that point. So if Smith Rowe can go from playing every game, being someone Saka, Ryan, Emil Smith Rowe all over the thing, to being someone that's hardly played, to them being sold, then in a way, why wouldn't he sell Ethan?
Exactly.
You know, and let's be real, him and Dauman play in the same position, as I said before, and you could look at it now and argue that Dauman, you could say that Dauman's better, or you could at least say that Dauman looks like he has more trust of Arteta.
And he's definitely ahead.
And he's ahead at the minute.
Ahead.
So
Ethan was Dauman for us last season.
The only thing is with Dauman there, he's more diverse in his attacking phases, but Ethan's got a higher goal threat than him.
The thing is with Dauman, I don't know if he's got a higher goal threat, but what Ethan does have, Ethan has something already that is elite. That's what scares me about Ethan going, I'll be honest. It's very rare that a player that young has something already potentially world class.
Yeah.
And Ethan, if he cuts in at the edge of the box, he will score or hit the target or work the goalkeeper.
I'm sorry to cut you, but I suppose my concern with what you mentioned is if we could because you make sense in what you're saying, yeah. But if we can speak like this about Ethan a season after the season he's had, what stops us speaking like this about Dauman a season after the season he's having?
But again, maybe, and this is where it's difficult for Arteta, because we're also asking him to win now. Win the league, win now, replace and buy, and we're not bringing any money in. Again, a lot of players, and if we do talk about Dauman like this, ultimately his job, his fundamental job is to win us trophies. If he can do that by selling Ethan and bringing in someone else who's going to be better for the team today, then he's going to do that because his job's on the line. If he, this isn't a time this isn't like the Arsene Wenger times when maybe he'll have years to develop players because he knows he's not going to be sacked, or he knows that there's not as much pressure to win like now. Arteta, let's have it right. he must be under pressure to win this season because he spent 250 odd million, haven't really brought money in, and we've been on the cusp like 3 years in a row.
3 years in a row.
So
Getting over the
for
line.
him, mate, and they may be looking at it, yeah, he's a good player, but ultimately, I want a better player. I want a world-class player now that's going to help me win the Champions League.
Yeah.
If Ethan's not going to help us win the Champions League now, should we say, but you know what, maybe in 4 years there's a chance he can. So we're not going to take that money and reinvest in the squad in the way we can. Because let's be real, business, at some point, the Cronkies are going to say, it's all good and that, and you're spending and you're doing all right, but is there any money coming in? We want to be a self-sustaining model.
Yeah.
And we're definitely not that right now. So
That's why you need the 100 mil, so you
Yeah.
can buy the marquee, and then you get 3 squad players. Basically.
yeah, and it's like,
But
I think-
then we've seen what we spend our money on. We spent our money on Havertz, and we paid him nearly 300 bags a week. We spent our money on Noni Madueke. We spent 5 mil less than Carrot Scalia. Hopefully I haven't butchered his name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We spent our money on Norgard, who can't see the pitch. So what's to say that we get this money in and we even invest wisely? And sorry, I'm not even like rubbing out Noni and Havertz, because I mean there was a time when I was heading up the Havertz hype. No, I'm just saying that these are players that we were in this very episode we've been pretty critical of.
But
You
then-
get what I mean? And they're recent purchases.
But I think that's for one, that's like a whole different argument, as in
But
whether
it's tied
they-
in though. It's
but
linked in.
no, but the reason, but I would say the other thing I would say that to every, I don't know, Noni and Havertz, you could argue you will have a Timber, Saliba, and Gabriel, who we also bought in that time, and a Raya, who are arguably have gone on to be top 3 players in their positions that we bought, and they weren't when we bought them. So you can always have those arguments, and
We
you
need
always
Timber
get
back,
players.
by the way.
Huh?
We need Timber back. That,
Yeah, 100%.
Our title.
Yeah, we need
hinges
all
on
of
that,
them
like,
back. We need Timber back. We need
Timber
Saka back. We
badly.
need Eze back. We need them all back. But I'm
think
saying,
with this point as well, sorry to cut you, bro. I think a lot of it is like what we're saying. Berta is a crucial part of all of this, and what Berta has come in to do, Berta's obviously seen, because it's no secret, that when it comes to selling, Arsenal are terrible. So what Berta's done is he's come in and used his method, which is, all right, all of our top boys, I'm getting everyone to sign a new contract, facts, because when any of them do go, if it comes to that, they are leaving for proper money. Do you know what I mean? He has to make sure the carousel can go, but the carousel has to start, right? And at the moment, without our top boys who we're not selling at the moment, the only people that we have that we can say can generate money is Ethan and Skelly at the end of the day.
Ethan Skelly, and I'd say Ben White as well.
And,
I
and,
think
yeah,
Ben
and,
White,
and Ben White.
I'm
right?
not saying I want to sell it, but Nelly would generate money too.
it's
Yeah,
his,
but
it's his wages.
I think it depends though, because it's his wages.
And then when you think about Nelly, when you look in world football, for what he does and how much you pay him, you're not really gonna. It's too much of a big risk.
Yeah,
Bro,
he's
in
not
Ge-
generating crazy
in
interest.
Germany, Nelly goes crazy, bro. In Germany, Nelly
Yeah,
goes.
but then how do you replace him? Because when you think about
100%.
world football, to get better than Nelly, it's hard enough as it is, let alone trying to find a like for like. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
Who's willing to basically be on the bench and be a good squad
Because
player.
you built
I
him.
understand what
Because you
you're
built him, innit? Do you see what I'm
saying.
saying?
Yeah, but I think ultimately it's gonna come down to, I think, the players that we want to, or who are available, what's their interest. And I think that will ultimately define whether we sell Ethan and Miles or both. Because I think if someone comes in for, like, Saudi coming for Trossard, pay 30-40 million for him or something crazy like that, or Nelly even, he has a good World Cup and all of a sudden someone wants 80 mil, then they might go, do you know what, we'll sell him, and we don't necessarily need to sell.
What about Odegaard? Would you sell Odegaard?
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
I would. I rate. Meter will tell you. We've had arguments about Odegaard because
Man said in a heartbeat.
we've had arguments like, because
He haven't done to you, bro.
I rate Odegaard. I rated Odegaard. I do rate him still, and I do think he brings something to our team. But he's made of glass, man. Like, he's got injured about 4 times, 4 or 5 times just this season playing.
Bro,
Like,
this is like his 3rd season on decline. It's not it, bro.
But do you remember as well, though, when he first was linked to Arsenal on the rebound, I said, if he's going to come to the club and do this,
I don't want him.
I don't want him.
Yeah.
I spoke about this years ago. I was like,
Nah, you did. That's right. And obviously he started playing well.
and started playing
playing like where we would want him to play. And it was like, do you know what?
Cool.
Man can see that he's a pattern. But now he's just gone back to that. But the main thing for me is not even the way he's playing. It's also just that if you're not available, we can't keep carrying these guys. As bad as it is, you've been here long enough. Calafiore is on the brink for me. I rate him so highly.
Crazy.
I rate him so highly, but it is getting to the stage where if you just can't stay fit, like we have to start thinking about, the squad, because again, it's only the fact that we've had such a big squad that it's papered over, or people haven't spoke about how many injuries this year that we've had. Even like we're looking at Saka, Timber, all of these players out right now. Eze just coming back, Nkapie just coming back. It's difficult to like really build momentum.
Don't get injured for the previous clubs.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Does Timber soon fall into that sort of category? Because
it's tough with Timber because I do feel like for the majority of the season, he's still been relatively fit, but he is starting to get a couple of these niggles. It's annoying because he literally never got injured at Ajax. Like I don't think he had one injury.
This is what I'm saying.
Come to Arsenal, gets the big injury, and then since then,
Nkapie at Leverkusen was solid.
Yeah, but
Do you know what I mean? And then they come to Arsenal, and then suddenly
You guys are being a bit harsh on Timber, man. He was like after he's come back from that injury.
Bro, this is the reality for me, man.
He's been available though.
yeah, and I don't put Timber in that category personally. I think, and even Calafiore, I'm a big Calafiore fan as a player. I think that we play completely different when he plays. I think he is like a catalyst that makes us play actually good football.
him just popping up all over the place, it just causes a madness. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, but it is a bit annoying, like when you're just getting these injuries. Like I think it's more annoying. Like maybe just this whole day is just wound me up. Like I'm just like these players. It's just like if you were there,
100%.
we'd be in a better.
That's exactly.
Saka,
Yeah.
And I'm looking at City. All their players are pretty much fit. They got a couple injuries today. It looked like, but their players have been pretty fit in the running. And we're just still trying to, like, again, no one will talk about it, but it's like we're without Timber, Calafiore, Ødegaard, and Saka in this game. That's 4 players that probably start, or Eze, who's on the bench because he's just come back. Make a big difference. But so it's annoying. But let's wrap it up there anyway. We've actually got a decent. Yeah, we run a little bit over that we normally do, but that's good, man. It's a good pod still. Obviously. Appreciate Zest for coming down.
Yeah, no doubt,
blessing the man them. Where can anyone catch you?
On the socials, man. I'm normally on the socials causing trouble. I'm on the Instagram, Big Man Zest.
And in them rays, getting them girls whining. I see you.
You know how that goes, you know what I mean? So, yeah, but I just want to say, obviously, thanks for having me on the pod. And we will win the league.
Come on, my guy.
Putting it out there, so... All the man them in the groups, ready to clip that, man, because I know you're gonna. But we're gonna win the league, man.
Yeah, and Meets, what you saying? Where can they catch you?
Yeah, catch me on Insta, Meter from South, graffiti spelling 4RM, South, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, same thing.
Strash, my guy, where can they catch you?
Yeah, on X, at Striver, and on Instagram, at forever.striving. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Tip should be back next week. He's literally like sunning it up in Brazil, doing the salsa as we speak. You get me? But you know that guy never stops. But yeah, catch me obviously on Messy Music with a K, and obviously on All Shouting for the Gunners. YouTube, Instagram, everything. Like keep liking, keep supporting, keep sharing. We're doing all right still. I can't lie. Couple little viral clips. We liking it. You get me? So yeah, man. Just keep supporting. Appreciate all the support. And yeah, we're out.